Everybody, it's Steph here, and today what we're going to do is show you how to remove a Conway Stewart clip. Now, these clips are generally held on the top by what we term as a cap stud. As you can see here, this is a conical brass cap stud. They also come in sort of aluminium, in just normal plastic, in black, whatever colour. What I'm going to do, I'm not going to cover all the different cap studs. This particular one, because I already know, is held on inside by a retaining nut. So what I'm going to do is just show you how to remove it. Now, this particular pen came to me recently. I bought a job lot of pens, so I'm going to clean it up. It doesn't need a lot of work, it's in lovely condition. So what we do is simply take the cap off first of all. Now, in normal circumstances, what you need to do is check down there. Now, what you need to do is bring on your inspection light. This is my inspection light here, and generally just check inside the barrel there. Now, let's try and do it so you can actually see it. So I'm not sure how clear that is. Let's just give it some little twirls. But inside there, what I can actually see is that there's actually a little retaining nut inside the cap, which is holding the clip in place. Now, in most circumstances, what you'll do, you'll find that inside there's a lot of dried ink. Now, what I suggest you do is get out your syringe or whatever you use and fill it with water, and just squirt some water inside the cap there, and basically just get it all out and re-squirt. And basically what you're doing is just cleaning out all the dried up ink inside the cap. What you can also do, I use this particular wire brush here. Once you've got water in there, give it a clean inside with your wire brush, and basically what you're actually doing is cleaning out the inside there of any dried up ink, which in some cases will actually be preventing you taking the nut off inside, because it's dried up ink. So what we do, we clean it all out first. Now, some people generally sometimes ask me, they send me emails and say, can I soak it in water? This particular one is a Conway Stewart 12. As far as I'm aware, this particular pen is made of casing. So the answer to can I soak it in water is an absolutely no, because casing reacts with water, and what it'll do, it will actually ruin the pen. So this particular one, the Conway Stewart 12, or any particular pen that you know is made of casing, do not soak it in water. So let's assume at this point, again, we've cleaned out all the dried up ink inside. Now, what to do then is I bring on my little tool here. Basically what it is, it's a normal screwdriver. And if I show you the top there, you can see I've adapted it so we can actually get this particular nut out. You'll see it's got this little sort of indent, or this channel cut out at the end of the screwdriver here. That'll come apparent in a moment for you, because if you generally just use a normal screwdriver, you won't be able to get the retaining nut out of the cap. So what we do, we insert that inside the cap like so. We just generally turn it until we find that the prongs have gone into the slits, if you like, of the retaining nut, which I can feel there. And all I'm doing now is simply turning like so, nice and easy. And if I just need a little bit more. Isn't it nice when things just go how you want them? So we've turned it a little bit more. Oops, there we go. And what you don't want is what's just happened. Just bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. There we go, I found it. So watch you don't lose that particular nut, as I nearly did there. So what I've done, I've taken the nut from inside there, and now what I can do is just simply lift the clip off like so. And if I show you, there we go, there's the clip on its own. There's a little brass, there we go, there's a little brass cap top, if you like. And then what we'll do, let's bring back this little retaining nut, and there's the retaining nut. Okay, so let's bring on that. So there's your cap stud, it's threaded, as you can see. and then just to the right of it there is the retaining nut which goes inside. Now let's just screw that on like so by hand, and basically what happens, if once it gets screwed inside, you'll see that the nut actually protrudes slightly from the retaining nut, so that will not allow you to actually use a normal screwdriver. So that is where this homemade removal tool or whatever, so if I can show you there, you can see that what it actually does, it actually clears the screw inside, and if we actually just turn it like so, and there we go. So that's the reason for having the middle bit there actually cut out. So let's just take it off. So there we go. So there's the cap stud, and there's a retaining nut inside, and that's how easy it is to get the clip off these particular pens. Now I say that's how easy. Now in a lot of cases what you'll find is some of them are very, very stubborn. What you may need to do is just put a couple of drops of WD-40 or whatever inside just to release it. The reason being that these, I believe, these retaining nuts are made of aluminium, and they tend to seize onto the cap stud. So in some cases, although this one is very easy, in some cases they're very, very difficult to get out. So be very careful when you're actually doing when you're actually taking them out. So let's show you how we put them on. So all we do, we just align the clip like so, just present the cap stud inside like so, and in this particular instance now what we do, we actually get the screw retained. A little bit difficult doing it over the camera, so let me find it. There we go. And what should happen is, well, if we says he, like I say, always a little bit difficult working at a distance. So there we go. I don't want to drop it, so I'm hoping you can see the cap stud there. What it actually do, it'll actually sit on top of the screwdriver, and if I get a good grip of it like so, and what I'll do is just simply present that up to the cap stud, and what we're doing is obviously just simply opposite to what we did before. Tighten it up so it's hand tight, and there we have it, and that's nice and snug. So that's how it is. That's how easy it is to remove a Conway Stewart clip. As I say, this particular one, all I'm doing is just show you this particular one because it's the nut inside, the retaining nut, and obviously what you'd need is this little tool here. You can actually buy these tools online from people, but they're simple enough to make yourself. As you see, I've made this one. Incidentally, the sort of width of this particular screwdriver, I measure it about 5.5 millimeters, if that helps anybody. So that's how easy it is to remove the clip. Now what I'm doing on this particular pen, I'm going to be restoring it, although it doesn't need any work, but what I'd like to do is just show you the inside, because there's something quite interesting inside actually. But just incidentally, if this was actually, I mean, I've already taken it off, but if this was a pen that's just come from out of the field, what you do, you'd simply grip it with a rubber, well, I use a rubber inner tube there, heat this particular section here with a hairdryer, okay, so it's nice and hot. Get your section pliers, these are my section pliers here, and then just simply just turn nice and gently until it actually comes out like so. In some sites or whatever, they actually tell you to actually rock it back and forward. I personally don't recommend that you, when you're removing it, rock it back and forward. Just simply turn it left to right, and with the heat, what it'll do, it'll eventually come out. But what I wanted to show you is this particular pen is from the 1950s, but look at that. The original Conway Stewart sack is still there, and look, absolutely lovely and pliable. So that's all I wanted to do, just show you this particular, you know, the sack inside. As I say, it's sort of a 1950s pen. It's got the original Conway Stewart sack inside. Still lovely and pliable. Although I'm saying it's pliable, I'll be actually removing the sack, putting a new sack on, giving the pen a polish, etc. And then what we'll do, we'll come back and do you a review on the particular pen and do you a little writing sample as well. But all I wanted to do at this particular point is just show you how to remove a Conway Stewart clip with a retaining nut inside. The main thing, don't forget, this particular pen I believe is casing. Do not, and I repeat, do not soak them in water. You will ruin it. But for now, I'll just say bye bye now.